Welcome back to my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala. We are doing chapter acid bases and salts for 10 Cbse. So let's see today's topic. What happens to an acid or a base in a water solution? Let's see what happens in an water solution, right? For that, what we'll do, let's take about 1 gram of solid sodium chloride. So we are taking the salt NaCl, okay, in a clean and dry test tube. We are going to take that. And what we are going to do, we are going to add concentrated sulfuric acid. Here, by a help of a dropper, we are going to add concentrated sulfuric acid drop by drop from the side, right? By holding with a pair of tongs. Okay, we are holding this. Right? Here you see the sodium chloride is there. Then what we are doing, we are attaching a delivery tube via a cork. Right. So now a gas is coming out of it. Okay. So hydrochloric gas, okay, is coming out of the delivery tube. That is, the HCl gas is coming out of the tube. Now taste the gas evolved successively with a dry and wet litmus paper. So we have got litmus paper. Okay, so we have got blue litmus paper. The only thing is that one is dry and one is wet. Okay, what is going to happen? Here you're holding it. Now wet, we have just moistened it, and what you'll see that the blue litmus paper turns red, right? Means what it tells us that the HCl is what? It's acidic in nature. But you'll not see any color change with a dry litmus paper. Now, what is the reason behind this? The reason is that dry HCl gas cannot produce H plus ions. Alright. So dry HCl cannot produce H plus ions and it does not behave like an acid. Right. Whereas you'll see that HCl solution, what happens is that moistened litmus paper means HCl gas, it mixes with the water and it can produce H plus ions, so it behaves like acid. Right? Okay. Another thing what we need to take care here is that if the climate is very humid, you have to pass the gas produced through a guard tube. Here, this is the guard tube, okay, which contains calcium chloride, right? Okay, so what it will do, it will dry off all the gas. It will take the moisture and it will dry off all the gas to get dry HCl gas. Okay, then this experiment suggests us what? Suggests that the hydrogen ions in HCl are produced in the presence of water only. Here you see HCl in the presence of water. It gives me what? It gives me hydronium ion. So this is my hydronium ion. Okay, right? The separation of H plus ion from HCl molecule cannot occur in absence of water. So in absence of water, this cannot happen. So hydrogen ions, it cannot exist alone, right? But they exist after combining with water molecule. Here you see it combines with water molecule, okay? And what happens is that hydronium ion is formed. Okay, so here you see the formation of the hydronium ion. So acid gives hydronium or H plus ions in water, what we see, right? So then what will happen when a base is dissolved in water, right? This is the base, sodium hydroxide, which is a base. Now if this be dissolved in water, what we get? We get sodium ion, right, and hydroxyl ion, OH minus ion, what we are getting. So bases generate hydroxide ion in water, right, and bases which are soluble in water are called as alkalis. So what are alkalis and what are bases? Bases are nothing but what? Bases which give OH minus ions, right? Okay, and the bases which are soluble in water are called as alkalis, right? Okay, so here you see that potassium hydroxide is there. It dissociates into K plus ion and OH minus ion. Magnesium hydroxide is there, dissociated into Mg 2 plus and OH minus ions as such. So all bases do not dissolve in water. Okay, but an alkali is a base that dissolves in water. Okay, so what is the difference between bases and alkali is that alkali are soluble in water, right? Okay, alkali are bases which are soluble in water, right? So that's the reason they are called as alkalis. So they are soapy in touch, bitter and corrosive in nature. So now we know that all the acids generate H plus ions and all the bases they generate what? OH minus ions. Alright. So we can view the neutralization reaction as follows. So neutralization reaction, we know that acid reacts with base to give salt and water, so that we know. Alright. So here you will see that if we take here, what is happening here? X is going with M and we are getting what? A salt. That is my Mx salt and water HOH. So we can write down like this. So H plus and OH minus, this they are combining together and we are getting water as such. Alright. Okay. Now let's see the process of diluting an acid. Okay, how to dilute an acid? The process of dissolving an acid or a base in water is highly exothermic. What is the exothermic reaction? Which will give tremendous amount of heat. Right now. Okay. So care must be taken while mixing concentrated nitric acid or sulfuric acid to water. Acid must always be added slowly to water, right? So what we need to do, acid has to be slowly added to water and not water to acid, right? If water is added to a concentrated acid, here you see water is being added to concentrated acid, what will happen? A tremendous heat is generated and that may cause the mixture to splash, right, and cause burns. Okay, the glass container may also break, okay, due to excessive local heating. And mixing an acid or a base with water results in the decrease in the concentration of the ions, right, per unit volume. Okay, so such a process is called the dilution uh, of the acid or the base. Okay, so we are diluting it by this method. What we are going to do, we are going to add acid into water very slowly, okay, by stirring it, so that whatever heat is generated, it dissipates in the solution, right? And we are not going to put water into acid. So we have seen the reasons for that. So students, I'm sure you have understood today's topic. So kindly like, share and subscribe my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala for more informative videos.